Aries. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. This is your first time joining me. Thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. Right now, I'm going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. I had asked the Aries energy what this reading was going to be about, like the essence, and what's really going on. Do you guys know what's really going on? Everyone, all the zodiacs are going through massive shiftings, a lot of changes in life, in your spiritual perception, in energy, just a lot of shifting all around. And the question is being asked, Aries, do you know what's really going on? I know Aries has struggled through quite a bit over the past few months. And, you know, not to diminish what you guys are going through, but I don't want you to feel singled out. Everyone is going through so much, okay? Again, a lot of shifting going on for everybody, a lot of shifting. So let's just start pulling some cards and see what's going on. I had to pause and make myself some coffee. All right, let's see. How are you guys feeling? Ooh, you're listening for the hubby. All right, let's see what's going on. Ooh, okay. It's making a lot of sense. It's making a lot of sense because it's a feeling of like being emptied, but not necessarily in a negative way, just an emptying, a depletion for renewal. And many of the other signs are also experiencing that as well. So again, it's not like you guys are being singled out. So let's see. So you're experiencing an uptick of energy within the crown space. The shifting that's occurring in your environment is definitely causing quite an uptick in that fiery energy of yours. Okay, Aries? I wouldn't be surprised if you've been feeling yourself very triggered, very annoyed, frustrated with individuals. And it's not that you have to necessarily argue with people or that you're wrong for feeling the way you do. This is really a call for you to recognize why you're feeling the way you are. You're separating yourself from this phantom matrix that we've been existing within. You're being raised in your level of understanding, in your level of knowing. And so as you begin to become more aware of certain things that really are not in alignment with your soul, you'll begin to feel much more agitation, much more annoyance with the circumstance you're in, the people around you, your work environment, all of that. Hang in there, because as part of that crown space activation, you will eventually begin pulling in higher levels of understanding and compassion and patience. Okay, so patience is not really a typical Aries virtue. You guys do have a tendency to like go. Right now, you can't really fall into that. You can't allow yourself to go full speed ahead. You have to slow it down just a little bit and allow yourself to process. So if you're feeling a lot of emotional upheaval occurring within you, whether you're sharing it with other people or not, give yourself some quiet time to begin processing what that might signify. If it's just growth, if it's just, the processing of old wounds, because sometimes the healing process is much more painful than whatever the circumstance was that inflicted the wound to begin with. So definitely slow down before you, just react, slow down. So again, that crown energy is very much present, that purple violet crown energy. And then we have veins of the red, root chakra energy. With that has more to do with your struggle processing. It's almost this sense of this process is so challenging. It's a new type of process, and you're struggling with shifting the way you react or respond. It's not that your previous preferred responses or reactions are necessarily wrong. It's more of you're becoming a different person at this point. And those old ways of reacting are no longer going to be the best option for you. Okay. And there are a lot of people watching, a lot of people who are very much anchored into this phantom matrix we still exist within. So be careful. I get this sense that someone or a group, maybe it's at work, maybe it's a couple of friends or relatives in your circle that are waiting for your downfall. They're waiting for you to make a misstep. Okay? Don't fall for it. They're waiting for you to mess up. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you notice, this face is very reminiscent of a green man, the Celtic green man. And the Celtic green man really represents renewal, growth, springtime. So you're in the springtime of your spiritual process, early spring. So they're still cold. So you might still have difficulty really processing emotions, but still it's springtime. This is a time for your renewal, for your growth. So understand that about your process and don't let yourself backslide because people are watching. They're waiting for you to fail. You're not going to fail. Not when you're aware of it. You're not going to fail. This is all about action. What action will you take with a storm ahead of you? If you can see in advance that a storm is brewing, what type of action will you take? Are you going to just like freak out and be like, oh my God, the storm is coming and I won't be able to do anything and it's just going to be a cluster fluff and I'm going to die? No, you're not. You're not going to die. Not because of the storm. This is a storm within your mind. This is about the storm being allowed to come forward to cleanse the landscape of your mind. I'm suddenly super duper hot. All right. Super duper hot. Suddenly had a major hot flash. Okay. So this is a storm within your mind. Your soul is attempting to terraform the landscape of your consciousness to help you see things on a different level. That looks like an alien head. You see that? I think that's your galactic self looking down at you. Higher levels of consciousness entering your field of awareness. This is a perfect opportunity for you. Ooh, I see faces down here. This one looks like a lion. Where is he? Right there. A lion and a lioness. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like a lion and a lioness. So, wow, maybe this is about you finding some sort of counterpart that will help you to empower yourself. This might be a friendship that's elevating to higher levels of connectivity. This might be something romantic, but it feels, or it might be just the aspects of you, your masculine and your feminine, your queen and your king, the royalty within you rising up and reunifying. That's beautiful. Okay, walk your truth. All right, the ball is in your hand. What are you going to do with it? You have to walk your truth. No more allowing other people to diminish you, diminish your shine, to convince you that you are somehow distorted or wounded, and that's something that is a negative. I beg to differ. All of us have distortions. All of us have wounds. There's no difference between your wound and someone else's. The only difference is in how you choose to process the healing of those wounds. So allow yourself to heal. As part of your healing process, you're probably going to be allowed to feel very hollow, very emptied out, depleted, feeling as though you're just going to give up, like throwing your hands up. I don't, and on so many levels too, so many levels. There might be, you might be experiencing disappointment in differing circles, your friends, family, work, whatever it is. You might be experiencing disappointment in so many different departments of your life, and it's causing you to throw your hands up. Don't give up on yourself. This is a process that is going to challenge you, because in that challenging of you, you'll be able to really remember and witness firsthand just how strong you can actually be, how strong you are. Many of us don't realize how strong we are until we have no choice but to be strong. And so I think that's what's going on right now. And also the depletion. When a void exists, creation fills that void. So you can either allow that void to be filled by whatever's passing by, something parasitic, or you can choose what fills the void. If you choose what fills the void, you take full control. You fully accept your sovereign right and authority to decide what comes into your space. And you have to begin taking accountability for what you allow in, okay? And if you look at all that heart space energy. This is about you allowing yourself to expand and filtering your experiences through the filters of your heart. So your next card, Gateway. You're entering a very magical phase of your journey. Okay, this is just the gateway that you're becoming aware of. You haven't gone through the actual gate yet. You're being prepared. Oftentimes, in order to gain entry through that gate, you have to first be baptized through the flames. But Aries, you're a fire sign. You're very fiery. This is not something that's going to destroy you. It's going to instead rejuvenate you. It's going to refocus and recenter your attention back onto yourself, your growth, your well-being, mental, emotional, spiritual, and whatever type of well-being. Oh my God. Sorry, I didn't want that spilling on my cards. All right, so here goes. If you cannot find balance, you must create it for yourself. Bottom line. If you cannot find balance, you must create the balance for yourself. That is one of the most powerful things you can do as a sovereign. Not look for the balance, but create it. When you exist in a state of centeredness, you naturally will experience balance. Centeredness and balance go hand in hand. Balance is a result of centeredness. Now, just because you're balanced doesn't mean you're centered. If you have to continue to try to be or stay balanced, that means you're not centered. If you are centered, there is no trying. By virtue of your centeredness, you naturally will be balanced. Okay, so let that sink in a little bit. So here goes. Ooh, we have creation cleansing the crown and third eye, draining that stagnant energy, getting rid of all that no longer serves your growth. This might be getting rid of circumstance, clearing relationships, friendships, work circumstance, whatever it is. If you're feeling very tumultuous, your life has kind of imploded or gone crazy, it's because all of these things are being cleared away. Hang in there. Hang in there. You'll get through it, okay? Just hang in there. Have faith in your own process. You don't have to have faith in me and what I'm saying, but you do have to have faith in your own process. 100% at 10-10. You're becoming aware of the journey you're starting. So thriving, you will thrive. Even if the ground level has no sustenance left for you, you're going to learn how to stretch yourself. You're going to learn how to expand your consciousness and be that giraffe that can go ahead and find nourishment at the tops of the trees. You belong at the top. Bottom line, you belong at the top and you're returning back to it. This is the process of your return back home to yourself. Okay, so let's see. Such a beautiful day today. Such a beautiful day today. There was a question about the energy update that I did first thing this morning. I had temporarily taken it down because I was behaved very naughtily. But then I put it back up because I need to stay accountable for my decision to allow myself to behave very naughtily. I was mischievous. But I always am, so it doesn't matter. So the logic was this, while I'm shuffling your last deck, the logic was this: I took it down as a punishment to myself, because if I take it down, people will keep asking where it went and I'll be forced to do another one, which I don't want to do another one because I have a bunch of other readings to do. And so I was like, that's what you get. Learn to behave yourself. Now you just doubled your work. And then I was like, you know what? No, because then people will think that I was ashamed of my behavior and I took it down so no one will see it. So I put it back up and I was just like, you're leaving it up and you're doing another one. So you learn how to behave yourself. Impulse control, little girl. Learn some impulse control. I'm like, God, yeah, I'm just being hard for myself. So first I'm going to finish the zodiacs and then I'm going to do another energy read. That's what I get, because I really didn't have to respond to the individual. I was just pissed off at Michael. So I was like, perfect. Yes, we got to volunteer. Yeah, don't mind me. Don't mind me. So, okay. Here goes. Specialization. Aries, you are specialized for this baptism through the flames. All right. You have to embrace this process of metamorphosis. You are being transformed into something that you haven't been in a very, very long time. A very, very long time. Your sense of obligation to circumstance, to family, to friendships, to whatever it is, has caused you to become something you're not. Okay, you've become a distortion of who you truly are. And so when people try and convince you that your healing process is some sort of distortion, no, it's the undoing of the distortion. It is the undoing of the distortion. You are specialized for this. Embrace it, okay? Embrace your path. This is the path of renewal. You're being brought back to the places within your mind and your heart that allowed for the distortion to take root in the first place. That is a process that is being corrected. And so it might challenge you quite a bit emotionally and mentally. But through that challenge, you'll find your way through the thickets, okay, through the vines. You'll find the clarity that you're seeking. That clarity is discovered inside you. It's not something someone will be able to tell you. It's not something that you necessarily will be able to communicate to someone else. Usually what happens when you're going through a process is there is a need for you to begin communicating, sharing your thoughts. Aries, for you, do Aries talk a lot? I don't know if Aries talks a lot. For you, it has nothing to do with talking. So you're to be very quiet about this process. I think it's more, if Aries is known for being very talkative, that's one thing. Maybe just quiet that down a little bit. But for me, this kind of feels like it's more tied to, if you're very verbal about this empowering process, the people who want you to stay stuck in the cycle that you have been stuck in, they will go out of their way to derail your process. And that's why you have to be quiet about it. That's the feeling that I'm getting, because you see the moth right there. Moths are drawn to light, right? They often come out really just at nighttime in the darkness. And if Aries is going through the dark night of the soul and you're glowing very bright and the moths are around, that tells me there will be an attempt to distract you from your process. If they're aware, then they'll try and distract you from your process. And this is not going to ring true for all Aries, but for those that this is resonating with, you know exactly who's gonna, oh, that's crazy. What, so you're a hippie now? Oh, that's stupid. And this is, oh, is that witchcraft? A whole bunch of different kind of words and thoughts. So just be aware of that. You know who these people are to you. And just allow that to be something that is put off to the side so you can focus directly on yourself. And this is about connection, okay? Allowing yourself to flow through this process. The hydroplasmic energy that is utilized for this type of growth will help to bring to you the very people and circumstance that will facilitate your growth. Some of this growth will be some of the people and circumstance that's going to help to grow you will be through adversity, through challenge, while others will be because they're supportive, understanding, empowering. You have to take both. You can't just be like, no, I'm only going to take the positive. I'm just going to be love and light, because that's going to create such instability. You're going to fall real hard, flat on your face. I just get a very strong sense that if you're afraid to tap into your dark aspects, your shadow self, and you want to just exist in this, like, I know everything and I'm going to do this through the light, I'm all about the light, you're going to fall flat on your face, just like that, okay? You might need to form an alliance. Let this sink in. The alliance is with yourself. There you go. This is about a reunification of your masculine and your feminine aspects. The few Aries that I know, I wonder if I know more Aries, to be honest. But the few that I do know, and I'm not in contact with them anymore, they do have this imbalance between the masculine and the feminine, and whether they're aware of it or not, I did sense that imbalance is such a huge wound for them, because they feel unaccepted unless they confine themselves to the appropriate gender role. And really, this has nothing to do with your physical gender or your sexual preference or any of that. This has a lot to do with you allowing the masculine and the feminine to rise up together, to be okay with, being a female and having more masculine energy, or being a male and having more feminine energy. It's just really about embracing all the parts of yourself, letting all your fractals come back from all directions. It's time to end the war within you. That's the message. It's time to end the war within you. And all the Aries that I know have a very intense war within them. Very, very intense war. This doesn't make you any less than anyone else or any other sign. This just means you need to pay attention to what is making you feel like you have to fight a war within yourself. Is it because your loyalty has been displaced? Your loyalty to yourself has been displaced and gifted to someone who's not deserving of that level of loyalty. Because that's one of the most beautiful aspects of Aries, is your loyalty. Okay, so find the reason why you why you feel you have to be extra loyal to people who aren't loyal to you, because a lot of the struggle of Aries has to do with allowing yourself to be convinced you have to fight other people's wars for them. Like, they'll start stuff with other people and then they'll come to you they'll complain to you about it, and then you feel like you have to fight that war for them, and you don't, right? I kissed you. I kissed you. Thank you. Thank you. You love me too. I love you. You love me. We're like a Barney family. All right, let's get you guys your final cards. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you. You're just so loving. You smell this? You pick a good card for them. All right. Infuse it with your juju. Infuse it with your juju. Okay. Okay. I love you. Stay beside me. Cat hair everywhere. Whew. Fluffy ass cat. Whew, it's all up in my nose. It's worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. Wait, did I just pull these cards for you guys? I did, didn't I? I did. Oh, he's going to love me from the back. There's nothing like cat claws dug into me. So I guess you guys need a few more cards from this deck. Repetition, okay? What kind of cycles have you been running? You keep repeating cycles with people, with circumstance. You know, you have to stop. You have to stop. If you're just repeating cycles over and over and over, you have to recognize what that cycle is, what's triggering it, and how to remove yourself from that cycle, okay? You don't want to be left on a hamster wheel. You really, really don't. Sometimes all you need is the space to allow your fire to show you the way back to your path. It's not necessarily that you need someone else to tell you how to be spiritual, how to exist, how to think, how to feel. Sometimes that rage that you experience is really doing nothing more than clearing the path so you can get back to your true path, okay? This is about unifying all your aspects. This is about you recognizing how powerful you are and how you're building your own world. Your environment is being terraformed by you and your decisions or lack thereof. You have to take full accountability for whatever it is your environment is, how you help to co-create that. And again, you are specialized for this very, very fiery process, okay? You're very specialized for this. The fire cannot hurt you. It can be inconvenient, but it's not going to actually hurt you. It's going to clear away the things that have been hurting you. And maybe if it hurts for those things to be cleared away, maybe not for every single ARIES, but maybe you have to examine, have I become addicted to the pain? Have I become addicted to the negative potentiality that this individual continues to feed me? Am I addicted to that now? And and you don't have to have this conversation with anyone else. This is something you're going to have with yourself, within yourself. And if you identify that that you have developed an addiction to that type of cycle, you have to take the steps to correct that. All right. And this is not about condemning you and telling you you're messing everything. No, this is about you having that moment of clarity that gifts you with self-realization and self-actualization. It's time for you to rise, ARIES. It's really time. All right. So please do give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I'm coming back live to do, I'm going to do Gemini really quick. So join me. Okay. I'll be live in a few minutes. Bye.